إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار أعاذنا الله منها وإياكم. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us an opportunity to be here in this very blessed day of Jummah. And sometimes as a khatib you are forced to see what's going on in the society or in your community, and we have no choice but to address it. Even though sometimes addressing it is not easy from a member. But this is what Islam teaches, we have to go by. Today, inshallah, we're going to go revisit what happened with the people of Sayyidina Lut and fast forward to what's going on today. So, of course, we're going to go through the one who tells the best of stories, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who created those people, created the laws of nature, and then the decrees was written upon them. He saw everything, and then he's telling us how everything went. Sayyidina Lut alayhi salam was a righteous Nabi. Once the people of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam threw him in the fire, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him from the fire, he had to make hijrah because he could no longer live in Iraq with his people. So he started with Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. So he went with his wife, Sarah alayhi salam, and Lut alayhi salam. So they migrated from Iraq to Egypt, and from Egypt all the way to Palestine. So Sayyidina Ibrahim stayed in one place, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Lut to the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. And this is where he was, and this is where he got married. So we go with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلُوتًا إِذْ قَالَ لِقَوْمِهِ أَتَعْتُونَ الْفَاحِشَةَ مَا سَبَقَكُمْ بِهَا مِنْ أَحَدٍ مِنَ الْعَالَمِينَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, remember, when Lut told his people that do you commit the worst sin that none before you has ever committed. Sayyidina Lut, what is that? إنكم لتأتون الرجال شهوة من دون النساء بل أنتم قوم مسرفون. He said, indeed, you practice your lusts between men and women. He said, this is really the worst transgression people. Because before him, nothing had happened to that nature. So now and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Sayyidina Jibril alayhi salam and Sayyidina Israfil alayhi salam. And by the way, one of them was just enough. First they came and gave glad tidings to Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. By that time he was over 80 years old, didn't have a child, gave him glad tidings of a son. And then they said, we're going to destroy the people of Lut. And Sayyidina Ibrahim started arguing with them. But in that place, in Sodom and Gomorrah, there is Lut in there. Sayyidina Jibril told him, you know who is in there? Because Allah sent us there. So he was worried about Lut, whether he's be among the people who will be destroyed. Because Prophet ﷺ said, if there is a people sinning in one area and then the destruction come, it might come all of a sudden, boom, and everybody will go. Like when earthquake come, does it discriminate between Muslim and non-Muslim? No, it doesn't. When there's a tornado that comes, does it discriminate? No. But the good thing is, you are resurrected upon what you died with, or how you die. Now, if you are a Muslim, wherever you are always told, ittaqullaha haqqa tuqati wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. It is as if every day when I do khutbah, I repeat this. So you are always aware that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching you, wherever you are, in your house, whatever you do, you are always have the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when death comes, you are ready. You die with that, is iman. And something happen all of a sudden, what you do as Muslim, we say la ilaha illallah. So whoever last word is la ilaha illallah, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, ma akhir kalamuha la ilaha illallah dakhala al-jannah. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam was worried that maybe Lut will be among the people who was destroyed, but they gave him assurance, no, Lut will not be among the people who will be destroyed, but his wife will be. And why the wife will be? Anytime that the guests used to coming from outside Sodom and Gomorrah, they used to go to the leader Sayyidina Lut alayhi salam. And Sayyidina Lut, knowing the nature of the people, how evil they were, he used to hide them. But what his own wife used to do, she used to burn woods, and the smoke will come out. That's a sign that, listen, they have some guests in here, just come and get them and do what you want. It came to a place where, to a moment where they used to do it openly outside in that area. So when these two guests came, as human being, of course, Sayyidina Jibril alayhi salam and Sayyidina Israfil alayhi salam, she did the same thing. And the people coming rushing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing to us. وَجَاءَهُ الْمَدِينَةِ يَسْتَبْشِرُونَ. They came rejoicing. Oh, we have two more guests. We're going to do it on them. And they was happy. They was partying in front of them. And yes, Sayyidina Lut alayhi salam, being a Nabi, be a nobleman, of course you don't want someone to come and disgrace you in front, disgrace your visitors. So what did he say? He said, قَالَ إِنَّ هَؤُلَاءِ دَيْفِي فَلَا تَفْضَحُونَ. He said, really, these are my guests. Do not be disrespectful to my guests. Please. They wouldn't listen. And then he said, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُخْزُونَ. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and really do not disgrace me. This is very disgraceful thing. Please. They did not listen. They was partying. And then he said, قَالَ أَعْلَمْ نَنْهَكَ عَنِ الْعَالَمِينَ. He said, did you not warn you not to entertain anyone from outside? We told you. Why did you do it? So, this is ours. And he said, قَالَ هَؤُلَاءِ بَنَاتِي إِن كُنْتُمْ فَاعِلِينَ. Go and marry the women if you want to satisfy your desires. They would not listen. They was partying. Yes, all of a sudden now we have someone, we're going to be partying on them. And then there was so much partying, intoxicated, like drinking, getting ready to go after these guesses. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, La amruk. He swore by the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Innahum lafi sakratihim ya'mahun. Verily there was in the best, in the highest intoxication that one could get. To show that to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to me and you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swore by the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَأَخَذَهُمُ الصَّيْحَةُ مُشْرِقِينَ. It was a punishment. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punished them. Early in the morning by Fajr time, Sayyidina Jibril just won the tip of one of his wings, took the entire earth, entire Sodom of Gomorrah, and Sayyidina Jibril has 600 wings. The tip of one of his wings, he took that entire village, Sodom and Gomorrah, and took it all the way up. Could you imagine the speed that it goes all the way to the inhabitant of the first heaven could hear the animals barking, the chickens. And when he gets there with the speed, he turned them upside down and brought and crushed them on the earth. As if that was not enough, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent missiles in the form of stones, clay, that was burned, that came and touched every single one of them. Pure destruction. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed them. And up to now, when you go to Sodom and Gomorrah, you will see it's just rocks all over. Why they were destroyed? Because of people, gays and lesbians. Or in our today's world, LGBTQ, we name it. This is what they were practicing. And they were destroyed. Fast forward 2023. The other day, my daughter came home and she said, Mom, I didn't know that there was some women who are neither men, neither women. How come? A female teacher came and said, I'm not a man, I'm not a woman. And instead of Miss of Mrs., since she's neither man or neither woman, she's called Mix. So the kids, they call her Mix and then her name. I talked to one university student. He told me now when you go to class, they ask you to identify yourself. Meaning, are you a he? Are you a she? Are you a mix? Are you a whatever? Identify yourself. And if you don't identify yourself, you are in trouble. You have to identify yourself. And he also told me something that is strange, because sometimes you have to talk to these kids to know what's going on. Sometimes when I see men with nail polish, I thought they're gay. He said, no. Now it's the trend among men to just have nail polish. They might not necessarily be gay, but that's the trend. And in some MSAs, meaning Muslim student associations, some have good intention, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them. But there is also this trend that, you know what, we are Muslims, we are very tolerant. We are not like that. We don't go to the extreme, to the extent that even told me that some women, they put on hijab, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all of them, but some of them, they put it as fashion. Now this is how Islam described how the people of Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. And yes, if you go to the Bible, it says in the Old Testament, in many different verses, one of which will say, you shall not lie with a male as with a woman. It is an abomination. In Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5, it says, a woman must not wear men's clothing, nor a man wear woman's clothing, for the Lord your God detests anyone who does this. And in another verse, chapter in the Bible, it says, when men do that to men, or women do that to women, they should be killed. You don't see that in the Quran, but in the Bible it said they should be killed. All the previous books talk about this and how they were destroyed. And now that's the trend. And this is the time that we live in. Istaghfiru rabbakum innahu ghafurur rahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin walhamdulillah ala kulli hal walhamdulillah ala ni'matil islam kafa biha ni'ma. Yesterday in France, a 9-year-old came home and she was being interviewed by her parents as to what kind of class they had that day. She said she was talking about it and laughing that her teacher taught them how to make babies or how parents are having babies. And excuse the language that's coming. Had you just opened your house, your room, and you let them watch what they do, what you do as adults, she would not know the details that are in it. But the teacher went to the graphic details that if you're not adult and you even go through it, you will not even know. And she was talking about it, laughing, how exciting it was, what a course that was, 9 years old. And all the graphic details, point by point. Towards the end, the teacher asked the boys, is there anyone who can draw the main thing? And all the kids say yes, the men who raise their hand to come and draw it. And one of the young kids said, mine is straight. She said, yes, this is what you're looking for. You got it. There's a program right now going on that they work on at the United Nations and the World Health Organization. And when there's a pandemic, where do we go to? Who do we refer to? The World Health Organization. In this program, there's already a book written. And excuse the language that's going to come. The newborn from toddlers to about 2 years, or I think 3 or 4 years, they have to teach them how to play with their intimate part. From I think 4 to 6, they have to teach it to them and then show them how to look at it, teach it to them. And I think from 6 to 8, not only they have to teach them, but they also have to tell them how to do it in hiding, and when they go to their phone, how to look it up, and when they go on the internet, how to look it up. And then to have a graphic in the classroom to show them how to do it. Up to 9 years now, they have to teach them how to do intercourse, with one another. And from 9 to 12, you have to encourage them to do it, or let them do it even in front of you in classrooms. The book is already written. And when you go to Rutgers University here in these United States of America, they're leading in that end. And in Europe, it's the Netherlands. We have many pedophiles now. This is what they use. Yes, for me and you, it's something that is very far. But where do we live? Most of us, we get up in the morning, we go to work. Mom, go to work, dad, go to work. I know I'm in trouble because my wife is, yes, I'm going to get beaten, alhamdulillah. And then we come back home. We are tired. Now, if you don't talk to your kids, like this woman in France, or maybe my daughter came and said, oh, Mom, I didn't know that there was people. And then she said, like, she's a woman. I know she's a woman. I said, nail polish, she's a woman. How come she said things like that? Now, if you don't deprogram them, this is going to be the norm. And eventually what they're going to get to, I'm sure if you look at it, at one time there was a law that they were supposed to sign into law in Washington, Seattle, where today, if you don't have 18 or 21, you cannot buy a cigarette. Or 18 or 21, you cannot buy alcohol. I don't know which one is, but it's either between two. But if you're 7, 10 years old, comes to you and said, I'm a woman in a man's body, I have to go do surgery. When you say no, the state could take him away from you and go make the surgery. Look it up. That's the day we live in. These LGBT community, they have a program. Not for now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. They know they're already lost. And there was one program where they were saying, we're coming after your children. And yes, they're coming. Most of the teachers in the public schools are what? LGBTQ. Not long ago, before 2008, it used to be what? Keep it in the closet. It was a shame for someone to say, I'm gay. It's not that long. But now you say anything against them, it might be a hate crime. You might go to jail for a long time. Last year or the year before last, I'm going to end with this. There's a university in Toronto, there was celebration, some type of celebration, what they do, a poster. A hijabi woman kissing another hijabi woman. What is the message behind that, you know? And the Muslims almost have to fight months before they can take that out. But the message is already out there. And the LGBT community has the audacity to come and say that Islam is not against it. That maybe you can see something in the Bible, but not in Islam. So my brothers and sisters, we have to wake up. We have to set our priorities right. The Prophet ﷺ said, it's going to come a time where holding to your religion will be as if you are holding to a hot coal. Me and you, we don't go through a lot of pressure that our kids go through while they are in school. Some of them talk, some of them don't talk. And sometimes with the pressure, they have no choice but to buckle. Now, if we do not talk to them, if we do not have time for them, if we do not deprogram them every single day, what do you think? By the time we know it's going to be too late. I'm sure by now we know we have some Muslims who are gay, some Muslims who are lesbians, some Muslims who have went through the knife and changed their gender. But the sad and true part is, sometimes when you hear that, you will say, it's going to be on them, not on me. I'm just going to leave you with this. We live in a society, in a time where if our daughter came home and bring a man and said, this is my boyfriend, of course, haram. Compared to your daughter coming with another girl and said, this is my boyfriend or my girlfriend. Or your son comes home with a girl and said, this is my girlfriend. Compare, he comes with another man and said, this is my boyfriend or girlfriend. Which one would you choose? Is there a choice there? No. It's all destruction. So the choice is ours. We have to sit down as family and see what's good for these kids. Up to before they get 10 years old, we can decide for them. After 10, we cannot decide for them. You have to get together, and in communities like this, force the community to come up. What type of answers should we give them? It's good to teach them to memorize the Quran, but now it's more important to teach them what is Tawheed. When you teach them Fatiha, tell them what the meanings of Fatiha. They don't have to memorize a lot of verses, but make sure whatever they memorize, they know it. And then we teach them Tawheed. We have special courses almost every weekend to counter this in a positive way. We don't do it. Slowly we are losing them. We lost them already. Now it's how to catch up. And for some community, you have Islamic schools. Your parents is a donor to the school, whatever you do is fine. You look certain way, whatever it is fine. You look certain way, it's zero mistake. You make a mistake, they're going to kick you out. How are we going to move forward as a community? If we look in the skin of my color, how I look, or the income of my parents, as Muslim, that's not who we are and how we should behave. The Islamic schools, they should be there as jihad to save our kids, to save the next generation. Me and you, most of us, we know when we see it, we know it's wrong. We know it's haram. They will not get us, and they don't want us anyway. They want our kids. And they're working hard for it. And before they eventually infiltrate the private schools, that's choice. Before they infiltrate the Islamic schools, that's another choice. But we should be patient towards one another, help one another, and have a vision as to how to save not only my kids, but your kids. Because if I only save my kids, your kids are destroyed, eventually they're going to be destroyed. We should come as a community together and think also about the future. إن الله وملائكته يصلوا على النبي الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا اللهم ادخلنا في رحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم ارحمنا يا أرحم الراحمين ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب القبر وقنا عذاب النار اللهم توفنا مسلمين وتراض عنا غير بدبان وألحقنا بالصالحين وادخلنا في جنتك الفردوس الأعلى برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قام الصلاة اللهم صلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا اعتدلوا ولا تختلفوا فتختلف قلوبكم. Pode o telefone mão isso. Move. Pode o telefone mão isso. Those in the back, please move to your left, inshallah. Musa, let me know when you're ready back there. Move to your left to complete the road. You good? Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
啊 آمين.
啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آمين. 啊 آ سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى وليسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. هل أتاك حديث الغاشية وجوه يومئذ خاشعة عاملة ناصبة تصلى نارا حامية تسقى من عين آنية ليس لهم طعام إلا من ضريع لا يسمن ولا يغني من جوع وجوه يومئذ نائمة لسعيها راضية في جنة عالية لا تسمع فيها لاغية فيها عين جارية فيها سرر مرفوعة وأكواب موضوعة ونمارق مصفوفة وزرابي مبثوثة أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت وإلى السماء كيف رفعت وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت فذكر إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر إلا من تولى وكفر فيعذبه الله العذاب الأكبر إن إلينا إيابهم ثم إن علينا حسابهم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. طيب. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have one of our brothers that pray with us, our brother Muhammad. His wife's father returned to Allah. Please have the family in their dua. And for those of us that have lost a loved one, we pray that may Allah grant them Jannatul Firdaus, forgive their sins, and may we be good before our own time to come, inshallah, and die upon the kalima. Our Imam, visiting Imam from Mali, he'll be returning back to Mali this weekend or today, inshallah. So we please have him and his family in dua. We will be having the lecture that he did here at Masjid Al Farooq on the YouTube channel very soon. It also relates to family matters, and you will learn from that, inshallah. There is one already on Facebook, on Masjid Al Farooq Facebook. You can go there and watch that, but the YouTube one is coming very soon. The lecture that the Khutbah that the Imam gave us today, our Khatib, Imam Bailo, it is very touchy subject, and I get constant emails and text messages from different people talking about how can they address this issue. Their sons and daughters are going through this. As a matter of fact, we just wrote a letter for one of our brothers that had a daughter that's supposed to be in a swimming class. There's nothing wrong to learn to swim as Muslim, but there's something wrong when the locker room where they're supposed to change is called a co-ed, where the boys and girls change together, looking at one another, changing. So we had to intervene in that. This thing is becoming more alarming every day, where there's no shame anymore in the society. As Muslim, we have a part to play. So please, brothers and sisters, for solution's sake, come to the masjid and let's discuss this and find a solution to this issue. We cannot keep reacting. We have to have a plan for our kids. Please engage yourself in the masjid, engage your families in the masjid, come to the masjid lectures, and let's work together. We need teachers for our weekend school. If we have more teachers in our weekend school, we have more classes for the kids. We need volunteers in the community. We need champions in the community. So please support any masjid, not just Masjid Al Farooq. Any masjid in your neighborhood you belong to, volunteer your time at this masjid, inshallah. And Allah, you get the reward for it. Your kids will get a reward for it. Your grandkids will get a reward for it. So please do your part as Muslims. Thank you. Masalam.